Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Lori Callison, and I am here to demonstrate to you how to use my new Click or Drag Quick Pockets templates that I designed for Photoshop Elements. The Quick Pockets templates are similar to the pocket scrapbooking templates that are on the market today, but these have a little bit of a different twist where you do not have to use clipping masks to make these templates work. You can get a free copy of a freebie template for you to try for yourself under my website at loricallison.com. You just simply click on the shop area and there's a free template for you to download right here. So let's get back to business. All right. Now, some people have asked me, because these have been on the market for a few days now, can I use these templates in earlier versions of Photoshop Elements? And the answer to that is yes. There are going to be some differences in how your screen looks compared to how the screen looks that I am demonstrating today. This is an example of what my freebie template looks like when you open it up in Photoshop Elements 14 or below. As you can see from the layers panel over here, it looks a little different than when you open it up in Photoshop Elements 15. And the reason why is because Photoshop Elements 15 added the capabilities for us to be able to color code our different layers. So I've made all of the text box layers a green color, and then all of the frame layers are this kind of bluish purple color. So just so you know, they work the same in both applications. However, they are just going to look a little bit different. So this is what the freebie template looks like when you open it up. I want to go through and kind of explain some of the reasons why I did certain things, and hopefully this will make using these a lot easier for you. First of all, I created this layer here that has some tips and tricks on it for making this a little easier for you to be able to kind of do what I did. So in order to turn this layer off, you just turn off the little eyeball to the layer, and then you may go back and use it for future reference. So some things that I put on here in case you can't read this on your screen, in fact we can go to a bigger version of it, is we talked about how you can turn that layer off. I listed the font, which is Century Gothic 10 points in white, center aligned, and then I also, back over here on the template, added this black stroke outline, and that's just a decorative thing that I like. If you don't like it though, you have the ability to just turn off that layer. Back over here, we'll go to some little tips that make it easier for you to work on these, and that is when you choose your move tool, which is this tool up here in the top left corner, down here, if you choose auto select layer, show bounding box, and show highlight on rollover, just like it looks in this little box right here, it does make it simpler for you to be able to use the templates. I also gave you the dimensions for what I set the guides and grids at, and so if you were to if you wanted to use the guides and grids in order to be able to move the frame layers around, you would simply go to your preferences, which would be different on a PC, but once you're inside the program, it looks the same. If you go to guides and grids, I set it at 0.0625 for the grid line, and the subdivisions to 2, which is, you can see right here, and then also in inches. So a little trick, if you are on a Mac, you simply hold down your command key and then the quotation mark keys right here, and that turns the grid on and off. And on a PC, it would be Control plus the quotation marks, and that turns it on and off. So you can see exactly how the grid looks. If you accidentally move one of your frames and you want to get it lined back up, that's an easy way to do it. Also, under the View menu, you're going to want to go to your Snap To menu and choose Guides, Grids, Layers, and Document Bounds, and that just helps the photo frames. If you were to move them or accidentally move them and you wanted to move them back, it makes them snap right into place. So let's go back over to our photo bin and we'll open up our template. So since we went through all of this, I'm going to turn that off. It does have all my links to social media here. Excuse me, they're not links. They're just the paths for you to find me. However, when you download the freebie template and all of my templates, you will get a PDF attached that does have live links to all of my social media so you can get in contact with me. So let's go ahead and turn this eye off. Oh, and the PDF also has my terms of use in it. Okay, so the anatomy of the template and why did I do what I did? Okay, first of all, I'm the kind of person that I read things from left to right and from top to bottom. So when I created the templates, this box is frame number 1. So this would be number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and I did the same thing for the text boxes. This is text box number 1. You'll see it highlights over here when it's on. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, I created a text box for each one of the openings because I like to do journaling on my photos. And some people like to do pocket cards that are journaling cards. So if you decide that you do not want to use the journaling boxes, rather than having to turn each of them off individually, I just wanted to show you this real quick trick. If you hold down your mouse key and just hover over all of them, it turns all of them off at the same time. And then to turn them all back on, you just simply do the opposite. And then of course, just to turn one off and on, you just click that particular layer. Okay, so another thing about the text boxes is if you want to make the text box bigger, like say you wanted this to be a full journal card, you want to make sure that you double click the box and then drag it to the size, and it should, if you have your grids turned on, click to exactly the right place. Okay, then you just simply highlight the text and type over the top of it, or copy and paste something from somewhere else. Now I'm going to hit undo, which is Command Z on a Mac. Sorry, that was a little shortcut there that I always do. And we'll move on to the next thing. Now, we talked about the black outline that I like. However, you can turn that off and on. And now let's get into the meat and potatoes of how this works. Okay, when Adobe designed the frames, this is the verbiage that populates each one of the frames. It says either click here to add a photo or drag to add a photo. So if you watch my cursor, you see that it just changed to a little arrow. When it changes to a hand, little icon cursor, if you were to click on that, it's going to open up wherever you were last on your hard drive. I'm on a Mac, and I happen to have opened this particular file folder last, but you could navigate to wherever it is that you keep your pictures on your computer. Then to add a photo, you just choose the photo that you want, and either you could click open, or an even faster way is just to double click on the picture. What happens is the picture pops into the frame without you having to do any clipping masks or any resizing. And if for some reason this photo is not zoomed in as far as you would like it to be, or you'd like to move it around, you can do that too. Right here, you can change the size of the photo by dragging it, and then you can also reposition it within the frame, and then you have to choose the commit the current operation in order to make it stick. So that is how you do the clicking. Okay, so we'll do one more as a click. I'll pick this journaling card right here, and we'll try open this time. So you can see that's pretty fast. But I'm going to go down here, and in my photo bin, my preferred method of doing this is to open all of the photos into my photo bin so they're ready for me to drag into the spot. So I just simply grab the photo out of the photo bin and drop it into the spot. Okay, so I'm just dragging and dropping. Okay, And that's as simple as it is. Can you believe it, people? I am so happy with this. Anyway, I really thank Adobe for listening to my ideas that I submitted and allowing me to be on their pre-release team to be able to give them this idea. I think that this is really going to simplify our digital scrapbooking, especially the pocket scrapbooking world. Now, another question that I've had since these templates have been available is, what if we have pocket cards that have rounded edges? Okay, so here's an example of one here. And let's go back over to our template and let's see what happens when you add one of those. This is a PNG file. I add it to the frame. And what happens is you can see right here there's a little bit of gray that is showing because of the card being rounded. Now, because the opening is a rectangle, all we have to do is increase the size a tiny, tiny bit and it will fill the frame. Now, in the future, I may do more templates with the rounded corners if I have enough interest in me doing that. So let me know. Another thing you can do is, obviously the background is not a frame. That makes it a little bit more difficult when you're trying to drag and drop things. So if you wanted to, say, place a paper in your background, you would just simply click on the background layer and then drag whatever paper it is you want onto the background layer, and it will pop in behind the photos. You can also fill it, obviously, with color by using the paint bucket tool. And one more thing I wanted to point out about how I designed these templates is you'll see that all the way around the edges there's a 1/2 inch border, okay? And the reason why I did that is I know a lot of you use these pages and put them into photo books. And I don't want you to have to worry about whether or not you have a left page or a right page. With this little margin on either side, you should be safe so that your photos do not go into the gutter of the photo book without having to worry about whether or not you have a left page or a right page. So I think that's all for now. I will be doing many more videos, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give me the thumbs up. And if you need to contact me, again, I am at LoriCallison.com, and I have a contact form right here that I would love to get your input and ideas. And if I can get it to come up, it's a little slow. There we go. So I'd love to hear from you if you have any comments. So please enjoy, go download your freebie, and post some finished pages to my Facebook page. I would love it. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy.